I don't do everything because I love it. I do it because it needs to be done and I have to ship it. I have to get it out. Are you an introvert who wants to build a personal brand? Then this video is for you. Hey guys, my name is Sahas and I help real estate experts just like yourself to humanize their brand. And today in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can build a brand, a personal brand, even if you are an introvert. In a recent story that I did on Instagram, I asked this question, I did a poll. If you want to ask me any question, and I got this question asked so many times even before that, if I am an introvert, how can I build my personal brand? First of all, great question. And thank you whoever asked this question to me. Because not everybody is a public speaker. And I get it that you don't want to be on the stage and you want all the attention all the eyes looking onto you. And I get it that, not everybody needs to have that kind of an attention. And that's not something for everyone to have. But what is really important here to understand is that when you're building your personal brand, it's not really about like how you're presenting yourself. It's not really about that you have to show your face as a personal brand. But what is really important is how are you talking about, who are you communicating with, and how are you presenting yourself to your audience. See, first of all, you really need to understand one factor, which is really, really important. And it is not just related to introverts. It is related to generally anyone who is building a personal brand, even a brand for that matter. Like, what is the problem that you're trying to solve? Because remember, the solution, whatever you provide, could be in any format. But what you really need to understand is that are you willing enough to solve the problem? Which I believe that you already believe in yourself so much so, which is why you are asking this question, because you know that you want to build a personal brand. And how do you do that? So basically, the format really doesn't matter. So like if you think that you are an introvert who doesn't want to be on the camera, or you're camera shy, if you want to be a public speaker or you don't want to be on the live IG lives, I get it. By the way, I don't know whether you know it or not, but I'm not much of an extrovert too. I like to be in my own way. I don't like to be, the reason why that I just push myself out of the boundaries is because I want to go to the other boundaries. And I'm not asking anyone or everyone to do the same way, because it's your understanding of things, the way that you want to take for yourself. But I just wanted to tell you that I'm not much of an extrovert too. So I get it, whatever you're going through. So a couple of ways that you can handle the situation, or you can present yourself as a personal brand without even showing up your face. First of all, whenever you're building a personal brand on Instagram, you have multiple formats. There are so many different formats that you can play with. Your pictures, your reels, your videos, and carousels, right? You don't always have to show your face on the camera. If you think that you hate taking your own pictures, it's okay. You can have text overlays, you can have quotes, you can have something which relates to some kind of solution that you provide and you think can be valuable enough for your audience to have a look at. You don't always have to think in a way that I always have to be on a video because it's a video format, so I need to be talking in front of the camera and this is what people expect. No, people get accustomed to the way that you want them to perceive you. Now, what do I mean by that? Like, let's say if I'm showing people carousels on my Instagram page. Now, I don't know whether they like it or not, and not that I'm even judging them or they're judging me. Why am I just showing carousels? The point is that this is how I want to be related to. Like, this is how I want to be perceived. Like, if I know that I'll be consistent in showing my carousels and certain way of the branding that I do for my own personal brand, people get accustomed to that kind of branding style and they evolve. So it's not always like that you ought to show your face, you ought to do certain things, because this is what most of the people would even say, like generally perceived notion, right? You have to show your face, you have to talk on the camera. That's fine. If you don't want to, you can use text overlays on the videos. You can show music, you can have just voiceovers and have slides through the different video that you are making and you're talking about something. By the way, if you're liking my video and if you are finding any information that I'm giving you is valuable enough, please do subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for the latest updates. Okay, let me get back. Other ways to talking about your story, your products and services, that whatever you provide. By the way, I'm not really a fan of just talking about your service and products all the time, because I believe that you have to provide value first. As much as value that you can provide, just keep on doing that. And I think that is the way that you should be looking at creating content first. Okay, getting back to the topic. Let's say if you're creating an Instagram post and you just have a single picture, so something that is contextual enough to something that you want to talk about, you can have long form, or you could say, micro blog kind of a concept for some kind of things that you want to talk about, and talk your story through the long captions. It's a great value add, and trust me, not so long ago, if you realize and if you're following Instagram strategies and if you're also following my channel, you would know that Instagram recently included keyword search. So what does that mean? It's not just the hashtags which are relevant for your content to show up. Now you have to create long form content, or the keywords, like even if you type something, post or your pages will show up. So it is more than ever valuable now. So if you can write more content on the captions, that will also help you out to stand out and talk about your personal brand without even showing your face. One of the other ways that I see that you want to build your personal brand is by having the alter ego effect. I didn't coin this term. It really exists. Where did I learn this term from? So I don't know whether you've heard about this book or not. This is The Alter Ego Effect by Todd Herman. And I really recommend you to read this book, because it talks about like how alter ego effect really changes the whole narrative of the story or how you perceive things. I'm not going to go deep into this book right now, but the reason why I want to talk about is that the alter ego effect is so powerful that you can actually rely on it when you have to even think about building your personal brand, and it really works in that case. Like when you think about somebody, like let's say the superheroes, Superman, Spider-Man, but the Superman was the alter ego of Clark Kent. Spider-Man was the alter ego of Peter Parker. So what I'm going with this is that, and in the real life, they were pretty much introvert. Like Peter Parker was pretty much introvert, and the way that he, like if you've seen the movies and read the comics, you would understand that he was a really introvert kind of a guy who really just wanted to shoot click pictures, photography, a little bit here and there. But when he considered himself as a Spider-Man, there was a whole different dimension that he gained that strength, confidence, and actually came out really strong. So what you could imagine yourself is like, if you don't want to be presented the way that you are, like with your own personality right now, what is an alter ego that you can put yourself in front of and be like that? And it works for a lot of people, and I'm sure if you look across, a lot of people have their alias names and they like to go with those names. The reason why they go with those names is because they feel more powerful, they feel more strength, and it is more relatable to the people that they want to serve. So this, I really think, can help you if you really want to build a personal brand without your own personality to come into the picture, but you can actually get something else about you in the forefront, could be an alter ego, and let it do the work for you. I hope you got some value about how to build a personal brand if you're an introvert. My closing thoughts about this would be something like this. I don't do everything because I love it. I do it because it needs to be done, and I have to ship it. I have to get it out. So the drive to make things better with the services or any kind of a help that I provide, the value that I provide, is so much bigger than myself that I don't want to let my ego or let my anything which stops me from delivering or giving value or making an impact in somebody's life. I don't want it to be so much bigger so that I don't do that. So that's how I think about when I have to go out of my comfort zone and actually deliver on things. If you're really liking the kind of content that I'm sharing on personal branding, Instagram, or any kind of a social media platform where you can actually humanize your brand, then please do share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel. And if there are more questions in your mind about personal branding, feel free to ask them. You can also DM me on Instagram. And by the way, you can also reach me on multiple channels. I'm available on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I also love you to check my website, which is www.sahaschopra.com. And I talk in detail about how can I help you with your journey and your life, and what kind of a personal brand or the kind of identity that I have for anyone to work with. This will just give you a little perspective about how am I positioning myself as a personal brand, and you can also see something that can work for you in those regards. Stay tuned for the next video in the series. Till then, take care.